If only I had more money. You've probably heard it before. Money isn't everything. And sure, we know that. But still, every time we glance at our wallet and let out that quiet sigh, a subtle unease stirs in our chest. Why are we so emotionally shaken by something as simple as paper? Joy, fear, frustration, even shame. All of these powerful emotions get wrapped up in a symbol, money. But what if you could rewrite the story you've attached to it? Today, we're going to gently untangle the emotional meaning you've unconsciously given to money. Together, we'll reframe it so it can become a source of peace instead of anxiety. Hello, I'm Japanese Urban Sage. Let me ask you a question. What does money mean to you? Because for each of us, money carries a unique story. Here are a few common ones you might recognize. Money is never enough. Without money, I can't survive. Money is dirty, it causes conflict. Rich people are selfish. It's all about money. Money is simply a tool for value exchange. There are countless beliefs floating around. But here's the real question. Which of them is true? Surprisingly, none of them are absolutely true. Because ultimately, money is just an agreement. A symbol. Let's take a step back. What is money made of, really? A dollar bill is paper. Paper is made of atoms. Atoms are made of subatomic particles. So, in essence, money is nothing more than a cluster of particles. Just like everything else in this universe. And yet, we label this cluster money and give it so much meaning. It's evil. It's power. It's freedom. But at its core, it's just matter, not good, not bad. Right now, look at a dollar bill. That color you see? It doesn't actually exist in the paper itself. Color isn't a property of objects. It's how your brain interprets light. Your eyes detect certain wavelengths, and your mind labels it green or brown. In reality, the bill has no color, no value, no meaning. All of that comes from you. So, let's try something. Point to a bill and say, "This is nothing more than a cluster of particles." In this moment, for the first time, you're seeing money as it truly is, stripped of meaning, stripped of story. And that's powerful. Because from this place of neutrality, you're free to choose. What meaning will you give money now? Here's one you might try. Money is a physical expression of gratitude. Let's explore that. When you eat at a restaurant and pay your bill, you're not just exchanging currency. You're saying, "Thank you for the nourishment." That payment is a gesture of appreciation. A way to honor the value you received. Likewise, when you get your paycheck, what's really happening? Your company is saying, "Thank you for your time. Thank you for your effort." So the money you receive is, in essence, a symbol of someone's gratitude. See how this shifts things? When you begin to view money this way, the entire world changes shape. It may seem like dollars are flowing around us. But what's really circulating is gratitude. Thank you is moving from hand to hand. Creating connections, creating trust. Let's try something again. Hold up a bill and softly say, "This is gratitude in physical form." How does that feel? Does it sound strange at first? Or maybe a little beautiful? We often hear, money makes the world go round. And in a way, it does. But in the past, before I did any inner work, I used to believe money is bad. And since money seemed to control the world, I felt like the world itself was driven by something evil. Subconsciously, I was always in opposition, fighting society, resenting how things worked. But later, something shifted. As I slowly rewrote my belief, as I began to see money as gratitude, the world around me softened. It wasn't the world that changed. It was my perception. And once that changed, I found myself living less in resistance and more in peace. Psychology calls this process reframing. Same reality, new lens, new emotional experience. So let's reframe together. Money is a symbol of gratitude. Next time you spend, try whispering a quiet thank you in your heart. And next time you receive, do the same. Because whether you're giving or receiving, you're engaging in a sacred exchange of gratitude. Take a look at the bills in your wallet. They're not just currency. They're expressions of appreciation. So, treat them with care. Organize them neatly, respectfully, not out of superstition, but because they represent the gratitude you've received from others. And as you begin to treat money as something sacred, you may notice something interesting. Your relationship with it improves. Your energy around it softens. And yes, sometimes, your financial life begins to shift as well. Now, before we close, there's something important I want to share. Some of us carry quiet pain when it comes to money. A sense of lack. A sense of shame. A silent grief. If that's you, know this. That pain isn't something to hide. It's a sign of how deeply you've cared. How hard you've tried. Maybe you've struggled. Maybe you've felt invisible. Maybe you've used money to chase validation, to prove your worth. I've been there. So many times I thought, if only I had money, then I'd finally be enough. But behind that desire, what I truly longed for was love. To be seen. To be valued. And I projected that longing onto money. I thought, if I can earn enough, maybe I'll matter. Maybe I'll be lovable. But the truth is, you were always worthy. Even if no one told you. Even if you didn't believe it. And that belief, that you had to prove your value, was born out of survival. Out of the very real challenges you faced. But now, you're waking up. You're beginning to realize. The meaning I gave money was my own creation. And if that's true, then you are free to change it. From this moment forward, you get to define your relationship with money. Not from fear. Not from shame. But from a place of choice. Let's say it together one last time. Money is a physical expression of gratitude. From now on, every time you reach for your wallet, pause for just a moment and say, silently, thank you. That one small gesture might just change the way you live. Thank you for watching. And thank you for being here. I'm deeply grateful.